All right, so in today's video, we're gonna talk about this because this is really important and this is what a lot of people miss, and everyone has to go through this. I've gone through it, everyone goes through it. Like, there's just no way to avoid it, but I'm sharing this information because I want you, one, to be aware of it, and so you can recognize yourself when you're doing it, and then two, how to help yourself kind of circumvent it, even though you kind of really can't because it's such a process. So stay tuned because we're gonna talk about, wanting it versus having it, and how are you really in the mindset living from the end and assuming that it's done, assuming that it's yours. Hey everyone, it's Kim Velez, Conscious Life and Success Coach, and I'm really excited to be here with you today. So a quick announcement, my email coaching has been, oh my gosh, such a tremendous hit. You guys love it. I have such a great time doing this. I am going to be shutting it down for several months. So I'm offering you until Wednesday to join. Because I'm making some changes in my business so I have more free time to be more creative. And with the demands of the email coaching, it really does chain me to my desk, Monday through Friday. And so I need to free myself up with some more time. So if you are interested in it, then, listen, the feedback is there's no one else like me, just saying, I really go above and beyond with anything that I do for you guys. It's 100%, customized, and it is amazing. But this is what's going to happen. So I'm announcing it today. Wednesday, it will be shut down. So if you go to my website after Wednesday, and my email coaching page will still be there, you can get on a wait list. You don't pay anything. I don't do shit like that, right? You're gonna pay if you're gonna get the service. So a wait list does not mean you're paying ahead of time and waiting for me, because that's just not correct. What it means is when I reopen the email coaching again at some point in this year, I don't know when I will. It could be 2 months, it could be 6 months, I'm not really sure. Since you joined the wait list, you will be notified via email as soon as I'm opening it. That way, because I'm going to start limiting how many people I take on so that I don't have to shut it down for several months, because I do have hundreds and hundreds of email coaching clients. So that way, if you join the wait list, again, you don't pay upfront joining a wait list. That's not appropriate. What you're going to do is just be notified first as soon as I open the doors again to the email coaching. So that way, if you want to participate in that, then you can go ahead and sign up and join. Again, I'm going to start capping it going forward. So that's it. So I just wanted to share that. But anyways, you can find the link below as well as on my website, which the link is below as well. I'm also going to be making some other changes in my business that I'm really excited about, but I will announce those probably next week. All right, so let's talk about this, because this is really, really important to kind of understand where you're at in this process, because this isn't just about manifesting an SP, right? This is really about understanding what's going on with you, changing the programming of how you see yourself in this connection, as well as love, especially those of you that have a history of multiple failed relationships, right? So we're looking at reprogramming internally your story. We know Neville says no one to change but self, right? Which means I change how I see myself and I change the story of how I see my person. So a lot of people, when they start manifesting an SP back, it's typically out of desperation. It's out of, oh my God, I need them so I feel loved, wanted, and, validated. And we know all this. And you're really in that needy, desperate kind of space. Now, we know we can all manifest from that. I've done it, you've done it, all of us have done it, but we don't get the results that we want, and you just rinse and repeat the same cycle. And this is what this whole game is about. Coming on my channel, working with me, is breaking the fucking pattern so you get what you want and you fucking keep it. And we don't talk about things and concepts that people don't fucking understand. I break it down of just what you need to do to understand how do you get there the fastest for you. Now, everyone's different, where you're at in this journey, how much focus and dedication you put to retraining your mind, thinking from the end, living from the end, et cetera, et cetera. I can't control any of that. That's 100% on you. You're the creator of your reality. I don't create your reality for you. Only you create your own reality, okay? So What you want to do is understand so most people, when they're in the beginning stages, and some it lasts long, because again, it's a fucking process, you start affirming, right? Because we know our thoughts create. So you don't got to believe it and you don't got to fucking feel it in order to start manifesting your reality that you desire. But here's typically what people do is they're affirming to get movement in the 3D, right? They're affirming to have shit start changing, to have their person show up different, okay? But here's the problem with that. You don't sustain it. You're too hyper-focused on wanting it, and so therefore what you're doing is your thoughts create, so you understand your power, so you're, saying all these affirmations a gazillion times a day, trying to hurry up and force the changes you want to see in the 3D. Now, why does that not last? Because of this. One, you're not living from the end, and you have not changed you. You're still the version of you that is desperate and doesn't get what she wants or he wants. So you're going to, it's a conflicting story. It's a conflicting reality. You have a version of you that's still feeling insecure and trying to control everything to feel satisfied, to feel like they're good enough and wanted. And then you have the version of your SP who's attempting to conform to the new story that you're holding them to. Now, why is it conflicting? Well, because you're not in the wish fulfilled. You're not the version of you that if you were receiving the love, passion, commitment, and everything you wanted with this person, how you would genuinely feel in the connection. We're not talking about manifesting toxic relationships. We're not talking about manifesting unhealthy relationships. I think enough of us have lived that. So this is if you want a mutually beneficial, loving, sweet, autonomous relationship where you both show up your best versions and you support and uplift each other to be the best versions of themselves, right? That's what I'm about. I'm not about, you can be in a toxic relationship and an unhealthy relationship and be fucking miserable all on your own. If that's your prerogative, that's your prerogative. I'm not judging, but I'm not doing that. I've already done that in my life and it's not a good feeling. And once you understand what a loving relationship should feel like, does feel like, which you can give to yourself internally first, that shit, that toxic, drama-filled, emotionally suffering, painful types of relationships are a fucking turnoff, and you just don't manifest those into your reality anymore. So this is why changing the version of you is really important. So we want to look at that. You have to fucking sit here and just be like, all right, if I'm so hyper-focused on affirming, just so I can get movement, just so I know it's working, just so I know I have my power, just so I see this person conforming, then what you're doing is still operating the same way you always have been, which is attaching meaning to the 3D, that giving up your power to the 3D in a way, because you're needing that confirmation and that validation in the 3D to soothe you, make you feel like, okay, shit's working, I got this, right? And the minute it doesn't, because it's not going to happen every second of the fucking day, you're going to start freaking the fuck out, getting insecure, and go back into the story of who you are and what's happening in this relationship. And so this is why the hot and cold lasts forever, months, fucking years for some of you. This is why it doesn't sustain, because when you are not assuming it, and I'm going to talk to you about what does that really mean, and you're just trying to fucking control the 3D to make you feel better, you're missing the whole point of this fucking game. You really, really are. And listen, I'm saying this because I did, because nobody was teaching this. Everybody was teaching alignment and frequency, and nobody knows what the fuck that means, right? How do you get there? Nobody could fucking tell you, just be love. Well, I was love, and I still didn't manifest the desired outcomes, because there's a big difference of self-concept in a relationship and self-love. Huge fucking difference. So people misguide, people mislead from their own awareness. They're teaching from their own place where they're at, which is limited in a lot of ways. And it's not that it's wrong, it's just where their awareness is placed, right? Or where they're at. So it wasn't helpful. Nobody, and most of the people hadn't recreated their SP, so they didn't understand what the fuck is actually happening when you're manifesting this person in, and they're just kind of mimicking everything that they hear. And it's not deep and it's not really well thought out because they haven't experienced it themselves, okay? So I felt very stuck for a long time, and then things started clicking for me personally and understanding like, okay, whoa, I see what happens with me with self-concept where it filters, which we know this, it filters your perception, and you're going to attach meanings to anything and everything in your reality, especially your SP, from how you see yourself. So this is why you keep producing hot and cold. So what does it mean to want it versus assume it? Well, we want a lot of fucking things in life, right? But does that mean we manifest it? No. So what does assuming it mean? Well, assuming it means I change my internal story. See, the way you actually control the 3D is to control your story. So you're controlling your internal story, your internal talkings, your internal self-talk, your internal self-dialogue, your inner conversations, your affirmations, your thoughts, whatever the fuck you want to say. That's what you're doing. It's in your brain, okay? It's your mind and the workings that go on every day, which is personal to every single person. So what you're doing is you're actually mastering that. You're controlling that. You're controlling your focus and refocusing on who you are, having what you want. And by that process, the 3D then it starts to shift, shape, mold, and conform to match what is dominant inside of you. So we're not doing things to get all this to move. We're doing things to connect to the reality where we have what we want and to experience it internally. So you have to affirm, because your thoughts are what create your reality. So this is why you don't need to worry about the frequency and the vibration bullshit. All you have to do is just assume you have what you want. And I tell all my fucking coaching clients do this, because so many people, and this is not wrong, you can affirm and say like, they're calling me and texting me, they're doing this, they're doing that. You'll manifest that, absolutely. There's nothing wrong with that. But I want you to test things. See, this is where I want you to shut this shit off and go test this shit yourself. Which feels better for you, where you feel like this version of you, the self-concept who knows she has or knows he has what the fuck he wants. That he or she is more rooted and grounded in that version of themselves, not 100%, because we can't ever do it 100%, but you're dominantly rooted in that internal version of you that knows it's done. So how do you get to that place? Because that nobody talks about that. That's what drove me nuts, honestly, with most of these fucking teachings, especially on YouTube, because they don't fucking practice it. They don't know how to get there. It drives me nuts. It's like, break it down and make it easy so people can fucking understand, and then they can get what the fuck they want. Because you should not have to be dependent on me or anybody else once you fucking get this shit. You might need it in the beginning for support. That's okay, because you're going to need it, because who else in your reality is holding you accountable and reminding you of your power, because the doubts will kick the fuck in, I promise you, okay? So, how do you get to assuming it's yours? Well, you have to keep changing that internal story of you as well as your SP, but dominantly you. See, it's a very different version to be affirming this, that, oh, SP's calling me and texting me, they're so in love with me. That feels good too. There's nothing wrong with that. But there is a shift with you of your self-concept and moving into a reality from that version to the version that's like, oh my God, I'm in the best relationship of my life. I am so fucking amazing. I love the way this person loves me. I feel so loved and supported and valued, and I am the fucking best. Man, it feels so good. No one else can compare to me. I am such an amazing partner. My person appreciates me so fucking much. We're so in love. It is just so magnificent waking up to this person every day. I literally have the life that I fucking dreamed of. Thank you for this beautiful, fucking amazing life, okay? So that is two different versions. So I prefer the version of me that's always living in the end, because she's more confident. This is how you start building your confidence and assuming it's done, because you keep entering your mind into the reality. Your consciousness, your awareness, your attention, your focus is placed in the reality where you already have what you want. So you're not needing to see multiple texts every day. You're not needing to fucking, have this person contact you every day, because you're already living that life. You already have it. So you're connecting to and expressing internally how you feel in that connection where you already have all of that happening. Now, again, I want to make this clear because some of you I don't know what you're doing when you're listening to my videos. Some of you, it's like you reject, you're going to. Some of you are going to reject what I'm saying because you're still in that desperate, needy beginning stages. That's okay. Save this fucking video, play it at least, oh my God, once a day until you start changing your awareness and consciousness of what's really going on in you. Because remember, the only way you control the 3D is by controlling your experience internally. So you have to shift you into the reality where you already have what you want. You don't want to really focus heavily on the version of you that's trying to manifest in constantly different things. Now, you can, though some people call that manifesting in steps. You can do that. This is why I want you to test and see which feels better for you, because it is your experience. I'm not here to tell you what your experience needs to be. I'm here to guide you and facilitate you on what I know to be my truth, what I know from my own process of manifesting in my SP multiple times and multiple SPs in the past, and what actually fucking works and sticks, because that's what this whole game is about, is keeping it. So you're not repeating these shitty fucking patterns. So you have to change your story of you and move yourself into the position of having what you want. And you persist in that dominantly internally. And what happens is the 3D has to bring in and reflect to you, matching you in that reality. So you can affirm, they're calling me and texting me every day, they're doing X, Y, and Z, go for it. If it feels good for you, go for it. It's not wrong. You're still gonna get that. But I want you to play with moving yourself into the reality where you just know that you don't need to affirm for that because it already is. This is how the confidence is a good feeling to have, is knowing. See, this is how I've manifested every fucking SP back, even before I was aware. One, I just knew, I assumed, of course they'll come back because I'm fucking amazing and nobody else is gonna beat me, like, get the fuck out of here, you know. And then I had I knew that. I knew that in my heart. I just assumed it. And I always fucking knew, like, no other woman's gonna compare to me, and they'll realize it. Because I would manifest men coming in either wanting to commit with me initially and then backing away. Once in a while I would manifest that player type in the beginning. But they would go out there, have fun, knowing, oh my God, nobody compares to Kim, and they'd come right the fuck back in, telling me I'm the one and begging me to give them another fucking chance on fucking hands and knees multiple times, even when I rejected the shit out of them over and over. So this is what I'm just telling you. It's understanding that moving yourself into the wish-fulfilled version of you, one, feels the fucking best, two, helps build up that confidence in knowing like you're not missing it because you're experiencing it over and over. It's such a different feeling to wake up next to your person every day, knowing you both feel the same way, knowing you're both deeply in love and connected to each other and have each other's back and are committed and faithful to each other, than someone who wishes to have that experience. So I want you to test this and play with this stuff all on your own and feel the difference, because at the end of the day, it's your fucking reality. It's your internal world that you're, focusing and changing so that you experience the reflection of it. And I want you to break your own patterns internally that have stopped you from getting what you want and sustaining it. You need to assume, and how you assume that it's yours is to move your self-concept through affirming. Thoughts are powerful as fuck. But test this, play with this, be the version. So how do you become the version of you want? You have to affirm for it. This is what drives me nuts too with, other people out there is you just be it. Well, no, you have to think it. You have to affirm it. You have to connect with the story that says, I already have what I want. I am happily fucking married and fulfilled. I love my fucking relationship. That is literally you moving into the reality where you already have everything that you want. So you do that with your thoughts and affirming. But the more focused and intentional you are, it does shift your internal state because your thoughts create your feelings. So naturally, the more you're focusing on you having everything that they fucking want, you're gonna feel that version of you that's having everything that you want. Now, as you're moving into that story of you having everything you want, you don't got to feel it 100% of the time. Do not aim for that. That is misleading, because even in the best fucking relationships, you're going to have off days. You're not going to be ecstatic and all feeling love struck and fucking butterflies all the fucking time, okay? That is not what you want to aim for. You want to aim for keeping the story, the version of you dominantly as much as you possibly can. In the end, I already have what I want. I know it's done. I don't got to worry about this. We're already together. Oh my God, we're fucking cooking dinner tonight together and I can't wait. I love when he comes home to me and I get to hear about his day, or I love that I'm meeting him for lunch today. You know, what the fuck ever, like whatever it would be if you were with this person. You just need to persist in who you are, having what you want. You do this with money too. I do this with money all the time. I look at myself in the mirror and I'm like, I'm a fucking millionaire. I run and own multi-million-dollar companies. I help people all over the fucking world live their best life. Like, that's me at the end. I moved myself into already assuming and having that end result, and I'm on my way. So I'm on my way with everything I'm telling you to do. So try it for yourself, see what works the best, because only you're gonna know by practicing and implementing and understanding the difference of what I'm talking about. All right, so I hope you found this video helpful. Please like, share, and subscribe if you did, and I will see you in the next one.